This is question number 89 from section 1.5, complex numbers. Okay, so the question is, we have x squared is equal to negative 169. And the directions that you're asked to use is solve each quadratic equation using the square root property. So again, when you guys are dealing with equations or solving for equations, your main objective is to get x completely isolated. So in order to contend with this problem, I want to get x by itself. So in order to undo this square here, I'm going to have to take the square root. So if I take the square root of both sides, I know that that square root and that square are inverses of each other. Okay, recall that a square root is actually an exponent of 1/2. So they cancel each other out, which means that the radicand, or what's left of the radicand after the square root and square cancel, just drops down. So now we have x is equal to the square root of negative 169. Well, what you want to bear in mind here is that if you have a negative underneath the square root, you can go ahead and pull that out, and that just becomes an I for it to represent your imaginary number. Also, don't forget, this is a common error, that you don't want to forget that plus minus sign whenever you take a square root. So now you can kind of go, or you can kind of check and say, okay, is the square root of 169 a perfect square? And if you've done these enough, you kind of know that the square root of 169 is 13. If not, you have a calculator to help you double check your work. So actually your final answer is going to be x is equal to plus or minus 13i. Okay, we usually write our final answer so that our imaginary number follows our constant value. So there is your final solution, and that's it.